I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Come on in, everybody. All right, we'll start out with the board minutes for September 20.
I'll move to accept the board minutes.
I'll second.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Board minutes. We'll jump into correspondence.
I can take that.
Only correspondence that's here in front of us is Montana Transportation update. Newsline letter. I got one of these in the mail too. Is there any other correspondence?
Good morning. Here, sounds right in that case back there.
There's no other correspondence. We'll go into public comment for 2 minutes early.
That's why I'm here, right? Okay. Okay. So I am coming today to ask if we could get a.
State your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Kayla Sanders, Healthy Granite County Network Director. That's okay. Sorry. I'm coming to ask if we can get a fax line. We need a confidential fax. We need our own fax line. So if we could get it installed and then pay you guys back, an annual or monthly, however you pay your.
Does that go through Blackbook, right?
It does. Yeah. I asked Becky how we would do it and they would just call and, put us on their schedule to run a fax line downstairs.
I don't know.
You're on what line?
Fax.
Fax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's still numbers available too, that where you're good.
Okay. Good.
And then all you have to do is just tell Blackwood to charge you.
Okay.
Yeah, all you have to do is it's your number.
They could just send us a bill,
So
right?
you have your own phone bill right now.
Mhm. No, we don't, but we could set that up. Easy peasy. Yeah.
Yeah, that could easily be set up
Okay.
where you would go ahead and pay the monthly bill versus us paying the monthly bill.
Cool. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd go ahead and just touch base with Becky.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
And in a situation like that, I think you could just probably call them yourself and order it.
Yes, yeah,
If Becky will do it for you, that's great too.
yeah, just since I was in your building, I didn't wanna run any lines or anything, you know? And then my second question is probably going to need a little more thought, but I'm wondering if when we move, if we could possibly get a wall built in the courtroom right now where the judge sits, so that we could have more private office space. So maybe even like a temporary type wall with some doors. And then if one day we ever moved out, you'd have more offices, but also we're working on getting an addiction counselor set up right now. So we're now going to have 3 separate counselors down there that need confidential space.
Maybe you put up just one of them, but you have to have a door, you said?
We have to have, it just has to be confidential, you know, so a temporary wall might not, or like a divider might not be confidential enough.
So you have 3 separate people in that office downstairs and they're there the same time all the time?
So mostly on Thursdays, we're on top of each other and we're starting to, as we grow, get more and more appointments at the same time. So we're really shuffling people around, you know, and you guys were very gracious enough to let us be here. So, you know, I don't want to cause any problems, but
Is there any way a guy could utilize the room upstairs? So you wouldn't have to build down there, I don't know how that, you know, we have all the rooms upstairs, but I don't know if that's a hack or what, you know, going up the
Like
stairs.
all the way upstairs?
I mean, if it's an option to
Yeah,
have
where they
another
have the
spot.
Jury room,
Yeah, we've used that for big meetings before. Yeah,
I guess. My dad building something in there, I think, yeah. You gotta
Okay.
meet them specs and all that stuff, and I think it costs so much, that's just me talking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not against it, but it's,
yeah,
you start getting into that, then you gotta meet all that.
yeah, I understand that.
But I didn't know if like the jury room or something like that upstairs, it's already got a room. Where it's just people going up,
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that bad, would it?
What about that little room that used to be by your office, is past your office down there?
That's where they're at now, I
Oh,
think.
well, that's where they're at now.
Yeah, that's where the judge is gonna go. That's where they're flip flopping.
No, the judge isn't going in the one between. There's the one between and then the office that you're gonna take over. So there's 3 right there.
so they're taking both spaces, right?
There's.
They're
the
taking the one
office
we're
that
in
was the
now.
Superintendent of schools, which is between the JP.
That's public health right now, which we do use that when they're not here, but when they're here, we.
So there, yeah, I think when you start messing, it's already split in half. And then you can't just split it.
Well,
You're
we
looking
put
at,
a temporary thing and we gotta go through that historical stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to just,
Okay,
it'd be better if you could utilize one of them upstairs,
okay,
cause it's already there, cause you gotta go through that history, you gotta match everything and then. that'd be-
yeah.
so
Okay,
is the county health there on Thursdays when you're all there?
so no, we use
Okay,
it on
so
Thursdays.
Utilize that
Mhm.
instead of, if you need a confidential meeting, just to meet in there, instead of
Yeah,
cutting things apart.
it's just as we grow, we're getting more and more appointments, and,
Right,
you know. So
Sometime along the line, if it gets too big, you might
we're gonna have to,
move out of the
look,
courthouse, you never
yeah,
know. So.
yeah.
What about the ambulance?
Okay. I don't know.
Something like it. But no, I've been used that one, or then they're even upstairs to
Okay. All right,
work it
You
out,
go up there.
everything's coming and going, and you guys take care of that.
yeah, for sure. Well, thanks. I think that's all I had to ask, so thanks for your time. Have a good meeting.
Any other public comment? That sun's shining on that dome stick out, don't it?
Oh, I didn't, never looked up.
Yeah, it comes their way 2 days ago, man, we hit, and holy shit, you wonder what the hell is that? That's cool. You didn't know it's gonna be that bright.
Shiny.
I'm sure it'll fade after a while.
It's not all that, is it?
Now he's coming in at 10 to tell us about. There any public comment?
I met their new addictions counselor yesterday, though. She's a neat lady. She was in here.
And Paul?
How's it going?
Well,
Good morning. You have stuff for me. I have stuff for you.
I don't like that. If
Where
you
did-
could,
I gotta figure out where I put your stuff. So you got time.
if you could add that as soon as you could to our insurance.
I'll send it over to her this morning. Hold on, I got lots of things going on. I got in a fight with the DNRC about our gravel pit, but I got it taken care of. I'll
Oh,
update
yeah.
you on that later. I lost it, but I'm gonna find it.
Okay.
So public comment. we got 12 minutes.
What's happened?
Oh, just walking down my fences.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah. That time of year, ain't it? That biggest one, the biggest bull down there at Jen's. And that herd got ran over by the train a couple days ago.
Oh,
Yeah, it's pretty nice bull.
Got
you
ran
trying to
over
take on the train?
Yep, he didn't win. The train
He
won.
didn't like that whistle.
Right. They're getting too tame down there.
Yeah.
We always get hit, though.
Been a good one for somebody to shoot, though, you know.
How many's in that herd?
I don't know, I heard 400 or better.
I don't know where I put this.
All right, we'll go into the road and bridge report. Paul?
Well, hopefully we'll should finish Ross's Fork today. We still have a pipe we gotta get put in, but that'll be a few days later, probably next week. And from there, we got some blade in the middle fork and down by Elk Creek starting to rattle up. We want to get that all bladed and laid down before
On the East Fork,
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna mention that,
yeah.
that ditch needs to be pulled
Mhm.
when you go down there, 'cause it got plugged up for a few weeks ago.
I would put a few loads of material down there as well. And, anyway, we're gonna go up and blade that road. You know, the road that goes around Georgetown Lake. Up toward Echo Lake, you know, it goes right up where their traffic signs are, goes off to the left, then you come out of Echo Lake.
Mhm.
We're gonna blade that first piece of that road where it goes up kind of that steeper hill. And so the public can use that for a go around when they shut that road down in 2 weeks.
So when the state shuts down, when they start working on the slide. the rock,
So it's gonna be done down 2 weeks or in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
So
So
which road? The one that
it's,
goes to Echo Lake?
it's right on that 90-degree switch back. Have you been up there since they put their signs up? It's just this side of where they're working a little bit. And I think it's 1589,
Hmm.
but it just goes right straight up that hill and then just wraps around.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we thought we'd touch that steep part. It's pretty, not very good,
Yeah.
but they're gonna take the short bus up there. So we need to. I told them anyway, we'd work on it, get it overhauled a little bit for them. So. And the Forest Service is all fine with it. So we'll do that before they get that closed down. And then like Linda, you know, she'll have to use it too to get to work.
Is that Forest Service?
It is, yeah. So just the cut across road is, you know, but. We're gonna do that. And
So you're gonna sign it or just,
no,
yeah.
no, just leave it for those who know. Then we got a problem tree down at Rock Creek. And we just can't deal with it. It's a big cottonwood. And so we got tree trimmers coming in Thursday. They're gonna knock it down. And the crew will clean it up. It's gonna cost $2,500. Ish.
I don't think we need our guys to be out there trying to climb and tree, to trim or cut it.
Well, you can't follow it. You gotta do it from the top down. you know.
Top down.
So
Morning, Lane.
How's it going?
got them scheduled. They're gonna. They'll come in right away. We're gonna do it Thursday.
No, understandable that that's not their expertise. They wouldn't be up there cutting down trees. You'd have to get someone to do it. That's just your maintenance.
Yeah, it's just-
If we could have rented a lift, you know, that would have got you put up in there with the basket and stuff on it, we would have did it. But you just can't find it. So
And even so, it's probably better to getting a professional when you're doing it.
way safer.
I think,
Yeah, I agree. Maintenance, gotta do it.
It's not an apple tree though, is it?
My pickups. They're putting a new transmission in it, should be done in 10 days.
It's not under warranty, it's a war.
How many miles you got on your truck?
About 140.
Transmission went out.
Engine's still
That's
good.
why I was trying to call you.
Engine's still good.
Leave a message.
Yeah,
I tried. to
I
call it
guess.
off.
it's burned oil since it was new, but that's just the way it is.
I got over Chuck. Cause they had,
For $5 grand, you can't throw it away.
they had a transmission, otherwise you gotta wait forever, so that's.
How much is the transmission?
Their estimate $5,200 all in. Installed. Everything. With
Ready? Got everything for roads,
That's about it.
got all your salt,
Nope, still waiting on 2 loads. They're just. Man, you get it at their mercy and that's just all you can do, so. We're ready for it whenever we get it.
you got your sand.
All the sand's down, okay, yeah. I'm on getting about 2,800 ton, which is 2,400 yards.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
Do you wanna explain to them about that backhoe?
Yeah, well, if it's drumming up, we fixed it, you know, like I was saying. Welded together. But anyway, now it's just unfixable without until we get our new parts. And so they're coming, the parts are coming, but I rented a backhoe, so that's something to use until we get the parts. And hopefully we'll be able to have it fixed inside of 30 days. The parts have been coming and they're supposed to be here within 2 weeks, so once we get them, it'll get fixed, but
Who's fixing it?
Rick White.
It's for compact and then that.
How much is the backhoe to rent?
3,100 a month.
So hopefully you'll get your parts.
Right.
So hopefully it'll just be 1 month.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hard to get parts.
well, they've been ordered, you know, for a couple of months. So. Cat claims they'll be here the 15th. I mean, we don't want to rent it any longer than we have to, that's for sure.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I got.
You talked to Frank about that, Howard?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna meet next week,
I seen that earlier, Mike.
you know.
How
That's
long a
on that
stretch is-
airport.
how long a stretch did you have to fix on Ross's?
Just kept jump, we did just this side of the hill, till you get up to the top. And then we did quite a ways down to the bottom, you know, where the gravel pit is kind of, where they dig out of the hill. Did a bunch of that, and then we went down, did a lot of ditch work, and then just fixed a bunch of other problem spots. On the way down, you know, so. Leveled up that one corner before the ranch, it's such a damn super. That for just safety. And like I say, we should be out of there today. Maybe. See what happens.
Maybe. Anybody else, anything else, any comments?
Still looking for one employee, or did that get filled?
We never ever could get anybody to even be interested in it.
Wow.
Not one person was interested in it, so.
So is the one guy got to work?
He, with any luck, he'll be back. Like the 10th,
Yeah, some big thing Thursday.
yeah,
So
So
we-
we managed,
it's, yeah,
yeah,
matched.
managed.
so you should about 1 or 2 people retiring next year.
Yeah.
After the winter,
Probably 3.
3 people?
Nobody can find, can't even find refs for the football game, can they?
Well, you got to play the Friday night one Thursday. They called all over the state and there were no
Can't find.
refs available. I mean,
Really?
Yeah,
Freaking sad.
yeah.
All right, well, we'll go into, or at least about 7 minutes. Sorry.
We'll start mowing again next week too. I had a mow yesterday and we got about 2 more days and then I'll go over the hog back into Rock Creek. And then work his way around this loop, coming back. But just want it wetter.
What's that?
I want it to be wetter,
Oh,
you know, we don't get no spark.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain
Yeah,
a couple of days.
even in the mornings until noon, you know, there's much dew that you can go along pretty good.
Can't think of nothing else. They back in down Rockford.
No, everybody's,
I called the fishing game, see if we gonna get any money again. Cause last year I called and we got $1,500 for out here for dust abatement. And this year, nope. They got a whole new, but I got a number, I just got a number from Helena to call and talk to them, but out of Missouri district, they, think they could help out, they advertised for all that and drag them boats and stuff up and down there last year, well, they did this year, it don't sound like it changed everything. Be nice if they would help, them. To use all the roads for all the hunting and stuff, remember, advertise all this.
no, like, you know, as soon as we take that back, Billy,
Okay, perfect.
so you can take it right off.
I will
They
let them-
sprayed the pit this year, the valve pit, yeah.
There's both of them.
You check on that, too, 'cause we got show we.
Yeah, I got in a
actually
little
doing something.
snafu with them,
Oh,
with the DNRC.
put them on rock, right?
Yeah, for the Middle Fork gravel pit, I got a call on Friday from the DNRC because we were behind on reporting and I didn't know about any of this reporting and then they, but I got all that taken care of. And then she said that our permit had expired in the end of 2021 and I said, no, we sent all the stuff in, there's no way that
Zero.
expired. And she said, no, it's expired, but I don't handle any of that. So I got a hold of the director. And went into the clerk and recorder's office, found the check, with the filing fee, they'd cashed it, la di da di da. Got a hold of him yesterday and they just assumed we weren't gonna do anything with it and had not renewed it and didn't notify us. And so they have renewed it and fixed that. And we have till the end of 2023, but if we don't do anything with the pit, they will not renew it. So we're in good shape, but
Yeah, talk to them, they only want to leave them open for so long, if you don't do something with them,
yeah.
they make you reclaim them.
Yeah.
It's been. Hell, it's been 15 years, huh,
Yeah,
since they did anything out there.
Well, I hate to give it up.
yeah, I don't think we have to go in and do something, we just to keep it, make it active. We don't wanna lose it. In case it comes down where these other ones go out or something, at least we can.
Yeah, you never know, and we need a lot of material in that end of the valley anyway. Which shortens the haul up to beat the band, you know. But. I imagine next year we better look at it before they do take it away.
So, let's see, we figured out we couldn't use some of the other money. You know, at Harper's and all that stuff.
Yeah, we looked at that with Great West. There was UI and Paul on that call. You know, has there been any more information on the infrastructure bill though? I haven't seen anything.
I think I heard like a Mako or someone was gonna do a training on it, I
Okay.
think. I'm not sure if it was Mako.
So then there's gotta be some more clarification coming out. So maybe there, I don't know, I'll check with them again and poke around.
Okay, so how much did you figure? I can't remember. Did it take open that?
Well, you know, we can get somebody in there. You know, $7 or $8 a yard. You know, to crush it, so. 80 or 100 grand, you might figure, you know, because you gotta crush 15 or 10,000 yards minimum when they come in. Or they charge you a lot more and then. You know, if you go the other way, it's,
So we could have used that varsity.
what's that?
We could have used that varsity.
Yeah, I don't know, I have to look at that. Could the guy use like just say next year if you're gonna get in there, do it, the guy could use a little bit of help just you know. Put it in the road budget. Or
Might be
something
worth
like
it,
that.
might be worth it to use Pro.
Hmm,
That might be worth it to use Pro,
that's what I,
because it's like a saving.
well, and then you look and see how much money we spend on buying stuff, if we can get our own made there for a couple of years and, you know.
You know,
It's something to look at, if we could see how much we do spend in that on gravel, and if we could make what we need, and then we'd have it, we use PILT to pay for it, and then that way we wouldn't be taking out of the budget, you know.
Okay, so it's good to sit until 23, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I can start talking about it now and, cause
then
then
23 didn't come quick,
that's what
that's next year.
Right.
that's what I'm saying, we should start talking about it now, so we can start getting more information and move on it.
Yeah,
'Cause we don't wanna lose that pit.
So is it surveyed? Okay, so how many yards is in there? Is that gonna
they'll,
pay for itself? Crushing it for like fiscal 24, we're in 23 right now.
well, if we crossed it out there, we would, use it. If we cross 10,000 yards out there. It'd last. A few years,
So it's gonna pay for itself to do it,
yeah,
versus,
Buying it.
yeah,
well, just
yeah,
just for gravel for the middle for and rock beds alone. And fuel savings not going over the hill. Every single trip, you know, would be, I mean,
is
that
this,
saves a lot.
is this something that we could budget next year for our BARSA funds?
Yeah. You can use Marshall.
Gravel ready to use? Because it's actually gravel.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
good. I just threw out PILT just because if it costs more than that, we should just move out of there. Just so we have it, then we're
Yeah.
done with it.
Yeah, if we're sitting there and it's saying that, okay. We have difficulties after paying for a permit of them even realizing that we paid for it. I think we need to probably
Start.
So
do
what
it.
if, what if we took $100,000 bill and did it, just go ahead and do it. And then we use Barca for spreading. Okay, we,
Cause it's gonna, yeah, it's gonna, we can use
Yeah.
Barca to go and get it. You know, and then put it out, yeah.
Would-
It's safe from just ripping the whole thing out of your butt.
right.
I mean, that's what Phil's for, as far as I'm concerned, I mean.
The guy would wanna get that. You know, make the decision, so you could actually get a crusher lined up in time to do you some good. You know,
That's why I'm bringing it up, so we can start moving on it now, maybe even start asking around about crushing, what they charge and how much. and Just have.
What about crushing it this winter?
probably could,
The only thing with that is, okay, is because it hasn't been budgeted. And in a situation like this, I think that you possibly could just go ahead and budget it out, PILT, have a line item just for that detail, and we didn't budget it. We'd have to wait for another budget year. Or I guess we could do a resolution for unanticipated income, but you wouldn't be able to do anything until spring anyway, would you?
with the material,
With getting someone up there and getting it crushed and,
He said he could crush it this winter.
I don't know, you know, I'd have to find out, but yeah, they could.
Well, if you could look in.
I haven't looked into it, because I don't know how busy
Yeah.
everybody is,
Yeah.
but I can look into it,
Yeah.
see,
Look into it and bring us some figures back so we can have something that we can go off, of, like say, how many yards, how much a yard, how much it's gonna cost to bring them in. And then, I think that'd be the best way, put it on the. Just for. Next week, even if you give me a week to start calling around, anybody could have, just have it on your.
Yeah, that's fine.
You could, I
Yeah,
mean, you can't amend your budget with the
Yeah.
budget hearing, but yeah, you go through the hearing process.
I think once we figure out how much it is, then we can start talking about what to do with it, how to amend the budget. Right?
and yeah, and it's easy enough, like we've got a second reading of unanticipated income for fiscal 20 and 21. And we could do this in the spring, another resolution, unanticipated income from PILT going into road to take care of the crushing. We could do that, and it's probably something we should have thought of and didn't, and now we need to do it. Is that, would you say?
We wouldn't. I don't believe a regular person would still have that pin. But they're just more lenient because it's a government, you know.
And I think it's because Mike kept up on it every year there. And you know,
Yeah, but we've always did it every year.
So
We've always wrote, we haven't. Took any material out of there because they get a fee, you know.
because
For
we
what
got
they
away,
take out.
we got away with it there a couple years ago, the fact that we sprayed and did some other just to show that we're
Yeah.
still interested in it, that we didn't want to give it up. So I think that's why I was asking about spraying. Did they spray? So we can say, yeah, we're still spraying
Yeah.
and actually keeping it.
I'm sure he's great,
So,
but we always fill a paper out every year and send them money.
I think somebody wants it, and that's why
Okay.
they're pushing on. That's why we don't want to slip and let it go.
Okay, so is it the time now to use it to crush it, say it's ours, instead of sitting on it and waiting? That, because we didn't need it,
I would think so if we could get somebody in there.
yeah, yeah, I think it sounds like it's time for action right now. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, we're gonna save, I mean, it's gonna show a big bunch coming out of somewhere, but then come down, when you start keeping tabs on what you're hauling, take there, we'll save, it'll pay it back, you know, that we're not.
Yeah.
Not, there probably gonna be some locals upset that we're doing our own, but if we don't, then we lose that, and what if they shut down? Then we're
Hmm.
grasping, going to other counties trying to find ground, that's my opinion,
No, I think
so.
Just-
All right. Whoops.
problems we had with the permit.
Mhm.
We get
Sounds
someone on that.
Yeah, something.
Well, for the roads over the hill. It makes really good sense, you know.
Right.
All righty,
Well,
well.
we have to make a motion on for him to go ahead.
I think, I just think we gave him permission to go look and see, we don't have to make a motion, cause all we're telling him, go get the price, and when he brings back something, then we can make a motion, or we're gonna take 100,000 out of the field, then we'll have a motion in that. Right now, it's just you need to go get the information figured out. Next week, we can come talk about it again, if you don't
Right.
have nothing, let's do it the next, we just wanna keep it on, so we don't let it go.
Right. I'll have some ideas
Yeah,
by next
Yeah, that
Tuesday.
sounds good.
Cause then once,
Availability.
we can't really make a resolution or a motion that, cause we don't know what.
Yeah, you're just having them look into it. And the thought comes, if you could do it next July, then it takes care of
Yeah.
the issues, but if you want it
Yeah,
done earlier, it can be.
If there would be anything, it'd be an adjusting entry in June, saying that we did this and we had money from PILT and a resolution
Mhm.
that corrects that adjustment.
Yeah,
Is like I said, like we're doing for last in fiscal 2021. It's just,
yeah.
it's something that we didn't foresee. You can
Yeah.
do resolutions on things you can't foresee. Right, Wayne?
Right.
All righty, well, we're gonna move on to the IUOE, was there any public comment?
Nope.
Okay, so we're going into the local number 400 road unit agreement to extend the 4 10-hour shifts discussion and decision. We made that, we agreed on it last.
You already gave it to me.
Is there any comments on this? Sign it.
You're
Alrighty.
So you make a motion that.
Yeah.
We extend the 4 10-hour shifts. By approval from the IUOE. Local.
Yeah. He's in it.
And yeah, approve the addendum on the agenda. Yeah.
I'll second it.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor? Aye, motion carried back. All right, we'll go into this next one, it's 22. Oh, this Dave, yes. For this one, this is like Barson money.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry. 2211, the Grant County Resolution requesting this Barton program funds, first reading. This is. Blaine, on this, we've talked about, do we have to have that in there where it says utilize? It's saying purchase 26,000 and then 27 for gravel. I don't think we need to have, this is, we kind of talked about, but I don't think we need to put that in, because what if we go over it now? Then we can't spend that money on it? Is that what, oh, go ahead.
Looking at last year's resolution for the BARSA funds, we just had a total. And on this year's resolution for the BARSA funds, you have it split out with using.
You got me one.
I have it here in my little minutes. Using, you've got it split out using so much for sand, so much for gravel, and then the last amount into. Where in that situation, if we have it split out for sand, split out for gravel, and split out for the remaining amount. Then that's all we can spend.
Yeah, we can just do a total.
Yeah,
That's
so a
fine.
total
Yeah.
actually would be better than
Yeah.
splitting it out in those. Because if we tended to use more for sand
Right.
and more gravel, and the one thing that the Blackfoot or Black Mountain have, you can get a detail list easily of just exactly where we expended it if they request it and need it. I mean, it's detailed right down to the vendor,
Right.
so
That way, if we go
Yeah.
over it, if we know what,
Yeah.
we're not set like on that, we could just. On the
Yeah.
next week on the set
Yeah.
discussion or decision, when if we just.
Yeah.
Get that.
Oh, there's a total amount.
Yeah.
and like in that. If we did put the salt. And then we sent them a detailed thing and they said, oh, you can't use salt, we'll just go, my bad, and we won't do it again,
Right.
just in
Well,
case.
And quite frankly, when you add up all that money. We're gonna spend, we'll have more dirt patch and oil and stuff
Yeah.
already spent out of the budget, so. If they didn't want the salt to be
Yeah.
on there, we could flip it out of the
Yeah.
dirt patch
Right.
oil.
Yeah, and that would,
Sure.
if we're splitting it out, we have to follow that budget.
Right.
And then you would only get so much if you needed more. Or.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
want to do
no,
that.
we just want a total, we don't want it
Right.
split out, that.
That sounds good. That just makes it easier to.
Yeah.
Alrighty, three, so that's just the first reading, so. I just wanted to hear.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Alrighty,
Thank
see you later.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
All right, we're a couple minutes early. We'll go ahead and go into the dam tenders report. It's fit now. Oh, sorry, yeah. 6428.02, 17. Whoops.
That's last week.
6427.97, 18.36 below.
Yeah.
So we lost just a little bit. And so
It was 18.36 below FOFO last week.
This is-
18.36 below FOFO last week.
oh, what?
Yeah, and now that's what it is this
17
week.
last
It was 17.76.
17 last week and 18 this week.
Half an inch. Yeah.
So.
So we quit,
Today we go back up to 30.
okay, today we go
Pretty
back
much
up
have
to
to.
30.
That'll be almost. Go back up
Okay, so
up to 30 CFS.
we were, just a question, we were at. We're doing 15 and we're still down.
Right, we stayed about even lost half an inch this week, it looks like.
It was 20 though, right?
20, yeah.
20, yeah.
20.
So we're okay.
I think we're
pretty much.
good.
Well,
Well,
required by the third quarter to have 30,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, we just did
and
20.
we'll
We didn't
start
do,
going down now.
Yeah.
Right now, 30, we're gonna start going down.
we didn't go, we did 20, we didn't do 15, right?
Up 20.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
So, yeah, I think if we go to 30 now, they can, I mean, people are still, I see a lot of, I mean, it was 83 degrees yesterday, they're still using water, it's, I mean, we're better than everywhere else, tell you the truth, and we're doing good on it. I think if we go to 30,
Well, we have to until 15th of October. And
then we can cut back, so it's going up.
Okay, so we're till the 15th.
so we're gonna be pushing the 2 foot.
It'll be close. Unless we start getting more moisture coming in now. That was a hell of a rain we had the other day.
I only
Yeah.
got 4 tenths, so
Well, they got dumped down.
last 2 weeks, 4
Yeah.
tenths. Each
So,
week,
I guess I'd entertain a
I
motion.
did. Go back to 30.
Go back to 30.
Any public comment?
Nope.
Meeting's not all in favor.
Aye.
Good job, you guys, on this ban, like, you look at these other places and that up on the Flathead area and some of these others. They suck them dry.
Yeah. East Fork way though.
And so the Willow Creek, I heard this now. They shut water off, they've shut water off in the ditches and at least this way it's still kind of keep the banks and stuff. Because you utilize what they can.
Better call.
Oh, pop.
Hey, Paul, it's Scott. Hey, we'll jump it up to 30. All right, thanks, Paul, appreciate it. Bye.
I need to drop it up. to 30.
I said, we'll jump it up
Oh,
to.
I thought you said drop.
Yeah, jump it up. to
He's gonna
30, and thank you.
uses he's gonna force it. It's terrible.
My slurring my words.
No, it's my hearing. I hear from you sometimes.
Can we go off for a minute? Billy, please. Paul just texted me, and said, please pass on, I am going to meet with the crusher guy October 12th. So do we want to just wait till he meets with him, then bring back the information?
Well, I think it's a
2
go
weeks.
ahead thing type, isn't it? Or,
Yeah, we gotta do it. I mean.
yeah,
Well,
Wonder
it'd
why
be
you can't do
3
it.
weeks from before we
October
talk to him
18th.
again about it, be on the 18th. I guess we can just still have, we can just talk about when you
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, after he talks to him. I think right now we've kind of said, we gotta look into it.
Yeah.
Get it going, get it done.
Well, we could keep it on there and then look into it about other funding, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy would check out some other funding.
Sounds good. Come on up, Dave, you're on. Oh, I guess you're 9 minutes early. so. Was there any public comment on the dam? I think I asked that.
No, I don't think you did.
All right, well, we'll go ahead, Dave Kessler's here, state your name and that.
Dave Kessler, represent Kessler Custom Shops. Still working on the dome. It's going slower than we'd all like. Every single piece has to be hand fit, hand built. Build it at home, bring it in, build it in the shop and bring it in, and it has to be modified, so it takes 4 times longer than I thought. Honestly, I wouldn't have done this job for 4 times the money had I known how bad it was gonna be, but. I'm behind on the dome, obviously, by a bunch, regrettably, and I've only got so much shop. So I can't get the cell going, the padded cell going very far. With the dome still going, so I'm trying to wrap the dome up first. And then work on the padded cell too.
This is Scott's, words on the padded cell, if you can just concentrate and get the dome done. And then, when you start on the padded cell, it has to go with this every day to get it done.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, then on the plumbing and all that, you don't have that all took care of.
Yeah, well, I'll get a couple of guys to help me with that. I'll build it all at home, so it'll all be assembled, everything, and then just take it apart. Run it in quick and it'll go really fast. I understand that's gotta happen that way. That can't be here and there and scattered all over.
He
Yeah.
wanted me to pass that on, Scott did, when I talked to him. So-
Yeah, and I understand that, and that was the original plan. The issue we're gonna have is getting those heavy panels that are gonna be 4x8 panels, that are be about 500 pounds a piece, getting them in. So, and Scott and I talked a little about it, just in passing, wasn't a plan, but I think it would be beneficial to do a change order. And maybe put a door going into that cell block area. It'd be on the southeast corner of the cell block. So a door from outside coming in, and then in the future, you could put a recreation area and put a chain link cage out there for people to go out in the parking lot to recreate or play or what, work out, whatever.
Like,
How much would
Play
that,
or,
how much would that door change be on?
I don't know yet. Just kind of thinking out loud on that, because the doors getting in are so narrow, it's gonna be pretty difficult to get through them.
I guess, my opinion is that if. I'm not saying go ahead and do it until we know, because we gotta kind of watch what we spend there.
Yeah. And I'm not saying we should or shouldn't, I'm just saying that's a possibility down the road, just kind of a heads up, maybe. Potential, it's a potential that I can say maybe, but I don't know for sure that's gonna happen. You maybe get it in the back door and around the corner and around past the dryer and it make it harder, but it probably doable. The other advantage to that is we put a 4-foot door back there and then you are ADA compliant, so you can put somebody in a wheelchair into the cell block area.
So that work like when they're putting somebody into that thing, they bring them in.
You bring them right straight into the cell block, yep.
Chair that they bought.
Yeah.
So they could actually use that chair.
One thing I have researched, the ADA trumps the historic regulations. So, yeah, and that's gonna happen on the elevator project here in the courthouse.
Yeah, and I don't know up from down about ADA or historic, I'm just a dumb old welder.
Well, I guess if you could check in on and see what they could change, or then we can bring it to us and then we can make a. Decision on it or something, but but right now I just worry about getting this done.
That's the plan. I'm trying to focus on finishing the dome and. Some personal stuff and cut my work week by about 50%, 40-50%. Makes it pretty tough, but it's not anything I can get out of immediately working on it, but. And that's not your fault, that's, whatever, but it is what it is, but.
If we can just concentrate and try to keep moving on as much as we can.
Yeah.
we can get it wrapped up.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but it's tough.
Go ahead.
our, funds come out of ARPA for that padded cell, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And the elevator project.
So if there's a little bit more expense, then we probably still have ARPA funds that will.
I think there was what left in there.
I don't know what's left because we haven't really been able to get a good estimate on the elevator project and the ADA for the courthouse, which is.
Well, if we have
So-
to, I mean, at least we know what we need there and, do that and. Yeah,
Slate will be, they're getting to work on the plans here, so
Yeah.
be working with this.
Yeah, just, it's getting that time, we just need to start wrapping up a few of them if we can. Dave.
That's the plan.
I'm not calling you lazy, and I never.
No, I may be a little on the lazy side.
I'm lazy.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to think that's what I meant.
No,
You need to
No,
come.
I understand, and I feel bad that I'm so far behind on it. I shouldn't be. You know, should have been done a long time ago, but
So question on the Justice Court's office, when will that be completed?
well, when do you need it? You know, when we,
Well, I think that's something that we've been waiting to move now, what, for quite a while. Is there a way where you can maybe get in there and get that done and?
yeah, I can. I thought they weren't ready to move yet, so I didn't realize there was a rush on that.
Well, I think we was waiting on the phone stuff, and I guess.
Oh, that's done.
That's done,
That's
okay.
yeah.
I think that was the
Okay.
big deal, we kept waiting on them, and nobody's, I guess I.
Yeah, I've got the material down there,
Yeah.
just ready to roll on it, but
So
haven't,
you're ready to roll, can we maybe ready to roll and get Justice Court moved?
try.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you run, say it started raining or something.
yeah,
I think we can
yeah,
go
or
down
wind comes
that.
up, yeah, I can move down there
That-
and get
that
that
I
going.
like to do it that way, and then try to get this, and then.
Okay.
Weather.
But we've got people that wanna move into the other offices and.
Well, and you got the mental health people right beside it, and I went down and talked to, I can't think of the gal's name. The other day, and she said they're in there most days, so that kind of cuts me back to evenings, or you'd have saws and nail guns and screw guns and. You
Was
know,
it
that's
a
gonna be
weekend
disruptive.
projects on that, or?
That was the original plan, but weekend, when we made that plan, my weekends were open, and now they're, because of this deal with Kelly, they're kind of not, so. Yeah, I can do it after hours, and. That's on me, that's nobody else's fault, but
Well,
Yeah.
I guess let's try to get some of these.
yeah,
wrapped
definitely,
up.
that's the plan.
I know.
I didn't sign on to be this lax, I apologize. Life's not been working how I wanted it to, so. And it's affected all of us, I apologize for that, so.
It's all good. We're just, yeah, that's
Okay.
all, that's the only reason I had to come in and give us an update.
Okay.
Let you know what Scott said, and we can just get moving on a couple of these serious ones.
Yeah, the pipe hasn't come in yet for the parking barricade. I ordered it 2 weeks ago, or the day I got the bid.
We're all right on that for right now. If we have to, we can always put a board up where they broke it down, but I think it just concentrate on the dome, and then
Yeah,
these, then that paddle thing, because we have it.
Okay.
Somewhere in and out, we probably could be used.
yeah, not a problem.
That all right with you guys?
Okay,
Thank you.
that'll work. Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
See you later.
Keep us posted, Dave.
Will do,
All
thanks.
right, thanks.
Moving faster today than I anticipated.
We got 15 minutes. We can go off till 15 minutes. Okay, we're back on for the resolution 2022-9A. Resolution increasing the county roads fund by the fiscal year 2021 and accounting for the unanticipated revenue received during fiscal year 2021. Second reading and adoption.
I make a motion, we adopt resolution 2022 dash 9.
I second.
Any public comment on this? Means none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried and passed. Sorry.
Attachment needs to go with it, or on the copy, it's not on the original.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I took it longer, I was looking. Okay, so,
Go.
was these people coming in really?
They are going to be joining us via Zoom.
Eric?
Oh, the Reliance people?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's coming
see
in for
they
that.
did
It's
the
just kind of our
contract.
normal,
It's,
Thank-
I doubt they're coming in, it's something the sheriff would like, and
yeah.
they're the ones that did the, that
the
tablet
text.
deal, and so he liked them better than the other company. The other company though I think he's got an agreement with them through, it's like, I think potentially end of June, but, so.
So is this an added expense that would naturally probably come out of care of prisoners and has it been budgeted?
Is it like 911 money there?
I think he,
Phone deal?
I think he puts the cost onto the inmate to use it. I think it's a pay as you use. That's my understanding. what he
The
said.
inmate would pay for it.
Yeah.
Do we have to see if there a piece of the contract? Or they're just contract and sign and let the inmate pay?
Uh,
Or is this it?
No, I don't see any upfront. There's no upfront fee. It's pay as you use it. And my understanding, talking to the sheriff, is it all will go into the inmate that's using it.
Who monitors this? All this
The,
The
texting.
dispatch,
the,
dispatch.
yeah, dispatch.
Mhm.
Maybe here, but I can't see other places. Dispatch, their dispatch, checking all the calls. Reading all the texting.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, big jails would be tough. Though, the Missoula County Jail, they have a lot of employees there. But that's Missoula too. I'm not sure what,
Do phone calls in jail, like I know they always record those, but like,
Yeah.
does someone always monitor those, or do you know, or is that just like a
here, I don't doubt they're monitoring them, but they're recording
random
them.
poll?
When I saw on TV, there was a South American country that they cleaned up their crime problem. It used to be the most dangerous country in the world. And the president, he took away all their prisoners' rights to do any texting, anything. And then they made some other statements that if you do this, things are gonna happen. And they were running the crime from the prisons. And then he referenced the United States about all this stuff.
Look at that sheriff in Arizona that they ate off of $3 a day and wore pink underwear and he read a bedtime story. I mean, it was a deterrent to crime.
I mean, you can say, yeah, but I mean, they're not there to text and make phone calls and video calls.
Okay, well, we're gonna go to that area 5 on aging contract modification discussion decision.
Jackie is on, yeah, sorry, I'm admitting someone in here.
You there?
We sent her a request, so let's see.
Good
This-
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
So what's this on this contract modification?
Okay, so when Joe Gilboy with Area 5, our director, sent out the paperwork as in June. He had not gotten any numbers from DPHHS. And so they finally got numbers to him well, it would have been last week. This contract will give us an additional $2,655 in our Area 5 program.
Cool. That'll help.
Absolutely. So just kind of like a quick little scenario, we have 26 people in the program as of now and I received a new referral yesterday, and we just hired another aide. So we're doing good things for the people of Granite County. So
Okay, do I entertain a motion on this? Or is there any comments?
I'll make a motion that we accept the contract between Area 5 on Aging and Granite County Public Health. With, accept the contract modification.
So what's the modification now again?
It's just that they didn't get their figures like she said, and the figures are a little bit different than the original. So this is for fiscal year 7/1/22 through 6/30/23. Just modifying it for more money.
I'll second it. I'll second it. Any public comment?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed. Thanks, Jackie.
thank you. Have a good day.
You go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And whenever you're ready, Eric Kohler is on, and I'll send him an unmute request whenever you're ready to move into the GovElex.
It's about 5 minutes. We can go ahead and go to this, GovElex SDR solution for short-term rentals. I have no idea.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are you?
Is this a recording?
No,
No,
Oh.
he's
he's
there.
on Zoom.
Did I sound robotic? I'm sorry.
Sounds like one of them damn recordings.
Too funny.
Go ahead,
How's-
sorry.
That's great. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Good,
Good. Well, I'm honored to be on this call. And my colleague, Hunter, actually was the one who set up this appointment. Of course, we connected prior to, and we'll have the discussion on short-term rentals. Ironically, he's not able to attend because he's going on vacation in Montana. So that's great. But the goal of this call, or at least from my standpoint, I certainly want to, more importantly, the goals of want to hear the goals of you, but typically on these types of calls, we just learn what your goals and strategies are when it comes to short-term rentals in the community, give you kind of a high level understanding on how we could potentially help. And then if it's something you want to see a full demo, then typically we set up a demo on a follow-up call so you can actually see the solution, see how the folks in your jurisdiction could utilize the solution, so on and so forth. Is that okay? Or is there a certain structure that you want me to follow today?
I let somebody know what they're talking about. I have no idea what you're even talking about. Like, this stuff's way.
Yeah, so typically, short-term rentals, if you think of sites like Airbnb, a VRBO, those folks that advertise their homes on those short-term rentals on those sites, typically it's difficult for cities to identify how many they have in their community, tie it to a physical address, and then get those folks up to compliance on an as needed basis. Of course, that'll be kind of case by case based on the community. But we currently show roughly about 178 short-term rentals in Granite County at about an average daily rate of $233 a night. So really wanted to, learn from you folks, I guess, is this top of mind? Is this something that is kind of on the radar? When it comes to short-term rentals, being able to identify those. Typically what we see in communities where you have a smaller population and a pretty high count, there may be challenges in the residential community already as far as residential real estate, just people trying to buy homes. Is this something that's currently on the radar for you folks?
We don't, I mean, personally, we don't do nothing with the rentals now. We have one rental house. That has nothing to do with this.
Okay, so my understanding, looking at this, it's tablet phones for all inmates. That's what,
No,
No.
that is different.
what's this one?
Yeah, I don't understand. You're trying to, you want us to rent a place to advertise for bed and breakfast?
No,
Well-
we help cities and counties identify the short-term rentals in their community. So from a tax revenue standpoint, it gives you folks line of sight. You're able to see how many are there. Also, if there's any type of ordinance that is issued down the road when it comes to registration, when it comes to licensing or anything of that nature, we help jurisdictions get those folks up to compliance because we now know how many are in the community, what the address is, who the owners are, and we can communicate on behalf of the jurisdiction as far as telling those owners where they are from a compliance standpoint and where they need to be. So it's kind of a full software solution to automate that process.
Well, we already have maps and we know where everything is. Why would we want to hire somebody else to do this?
Did you, well, that's a great point. Did you currently see and know that you had 178 short-term rentals in Granite County?
I didn't know correct how many it was, but I know we had a hell of a bunch.
And that pertains to city. And we don't have any jurisdiction over what goes on in the city.
Got
I
it.
imagine, yeah, and I don't think it's our responsibility as the county to know where these jurisdictions are
At this time.
at this time, yeah,
Okay.
Maybe in the future,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, right now, yeah.
I don't see that this time.
Okay, well, that's great feedback. So that certainly is valuable feedback and I appreciate that. So maybe it sounds like the best approach is to reach out to the cities directly and see if it's something that they want to focus on. Is that fair to say?
Yes, I would say the cities where you want to go. Town
I
of
certainly-
Phillipsburg and the town of Drummond.
I certainly appreciate that. Are there any contacts at the city that maybe I should reach out to, or should I just dig a little bit deeper on my own?
Do we have?
Mayor Reddish,
Mary
You can
Mary
look it
Weaver is
up on the
on.
Cities, whoever talked to them. maybe.
So, yeah, let's see, what's the,
Daniel Reddish,
Daniel Reddish is the mayor of
and
the
I
town
have,
of Phillipsburg.
his email here. It's
Okay.
406reddish@gmail.com.
406reddish@gmail.com.
Perfect. And how do I spell reddish?
REDDISH.
Perfect.
Reddish.
I actually had it correct. Just wanted to confirm, but that's great. So I'll reach out to the city and reach out to the mayor and see if that's something they want to pursue. But really appreciate you folks giving me a few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye. Yeah. The county doesn't have anything to do with the short-term rental. I don't think,
No.
what does the city do? Do they give them a permit?
I don't know if they have any ordinances. I know sometimes Chad has to do stuff with short-term rentals. As a
We don't have any
sanitarian.
ordinances in the town of Phillipsburg. Or
Probably
any
on-
zoning or any.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
On
other
there.
than collaborating on stuff,
Yeah.
there's no real regulation.
Which I would think would need to get some control over it. It's more short-term rental than it
Yeah.
is. The person can't find any long-term rentals in the town because they're all short-term
Yeah,
nighters and
178.
wow. Of the, like,
That's what he said is
Wow,
they identified
unbelievable.
Green County.
in Granite County.
That's what you said was 178. Oh, Elena has comment.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, Elena, for the record.
Thank you. Well, talking about this, to my knowledge, most of the short-term rentals are around Georgetown Lake, not in either one of the towns. And that's in the Granite County, just saying. Thank you.
One of the cities, you mean?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Actually, Elena, I have two right next door, so that's not necessarily true. There's like 30 or 40 right here in Phillipsburg.
But the majority are around Georgetown Lake, because they're complaining about it. Thank you.
So in other words, she's saying that Granite County needs to take control over the short-term rental spaces because the lake isn't in a town jurisdiction.
Yeah, I mean, there, certain places, yeah, zoning, zoning regulations too.
So they're like, there's only one area at the lake that's zoned. So there isn't anything that you could do by saying you can't do short-term rentals because there's no zoning, right?
There's only that one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they want a short term, it's theirs, they can do whatever they want. Why are we telling them what to do?
Are those rentals by you full all the time?
Not as much now as they used to be, but they used to be. Yeah, I have new neighbors every other day.
We have cabins all around out by us. They're full
They are.
all the time, all the way spring through hunting season.
It
And
don't
then there's
seem,
a space through holiday.
it don't seem what they charge either, it don't matter, people just. Like, holy fuck.
Are they putting more in? I see them build a bunch of small houses over on the other side of the road.
Over by Bornson's
Yeah.
old place. That's Sanson, and apparently from what I have heard, those are for personal use, those cabins and lodge. But,
That's where the state benefits. For the only way that Granite County would benefit is if we had an excise tax.
The,
Yeah.
resort
Mhm.
tax.
Resort tax.
Yeah.
Because then we get a percentage of that, right?
It just goes to the county. And cities.
I'm not against the resort tax.
We can't
They
really call it
should
a
be, but
resort
not.
tax, but I mean, you could. I think it would be confusing to the public saying that we're a resort, we're actually not a resort, but we have tourism.
That's, yeah, that's what the
Yeah.
statute calls it, but yeah.
Is
yeah.
it tourism?
A
They
resort,
call it
yeah.
resort, yeah. No, and that's something that has to be voted on by the general public, whether or not. But it's actually would benefit the county and the cities and your actual taxpayer. More later, no.
Yeah, I think it's growing
Yeah.
ideas. Yeah.
Is there any other public comment on this? Are these other people calling in or is this just,
I don't know that Reliance is calling it at all. This is just something the sheriff sent me.
are these the ones they have sitting over there on the counter? They got
They're
like
using
six-
tablets right now, but this would be taking over all the phone coverage for the inmates, is my understanding, paid by the inmates, but the sheriff does have there's a current contract for phones through, I believe it's potentially, double check this, end of June of next year, so this would not go into effect until basically that point.
This won't cost the county nothing, this, we get our money back from them. But what-
The inmates pay for it, is my understanding, yes.
How do they pay if they don't have? It? You just don't let them use the phone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You Don't
I
have.
mean, that's,
Can't use
I
it,
mean,
yeah. that's the way it is now with their making their phone calls. If they
Yeah,
don't have someone that they can send
Money
money
on the
collect to.
Seems like, you know, if they don't, the phone bills can get ran up pretty fast.
yeah, all the sheriff would control it. Yeah, I hear about that.
I just making sure that they
Are we on now?
know that not phone, we can go to them, it's, they're not coming in or nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't know if the sheriff was coming over, but
He's
that
on
line
the
is.
thing today. That's
Okay,
why I couldn't come for Dave Kessler, that's why I wanted me to pass on about, he's on some.
Telecom.
Sheriff's
Yeah.
business.
so I think with this agreement with Reliance, the start date will be important and that's inserted in there, so he'll have to do that.
So they already have one thing and they want this
I think that replaces it.
replaces it.
Right.
That's
Well,
the
he
way
ha-
I understand it, this will be a new setup.
He has these folks for the tablet, but not the phone, is my understanding. This would then be, he likes this one, this would eventually take over for all the services. This one company,
So he wants this.
yes.
I'd entertain a motion. I know we're a little bit early, but. Everyone was done. Okay. I can see where he wants it all in one, so you don't have two different outfits and they're back and forth with the tablets and that. This way, if he has them all on one policy, then it's better for him too, right?
That's what, he's happy with their service.
So this is just a service that he really wants the inmate to be able to use at the inmate's expense. And it's totally controlled, I would say, and it replaces his old system.
Yes,
So he wants a date.
right now he's using Reliance for the tablet. For the internet, but not for the internet, for texting. But the phone service is a different company. This would then, take over all that. My understanding, and I'm not sure all the rules on the usage, they're not on that all the time. There's only, certain times.
Well,
that they're
there are
allowed
certain
on the-
things that they can access
Yeah,
with
blocks.
their
or-
tablet,
Yeah,
And the sheriff controls it.
and the sheriff controls it.
yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I make a motion that if he wants to change to Reliance Systems, that he should go ahead and change if he feels it's a better program.
So what if the inmate doesn't have any money?
They can't use it.
They can't, that's why I asked that, because I was worried, and
Yeah.
like Blanche said, that they don't get to use it. Till they have cash in hand or credit card, then
Yeah.
they don't get, the same as it is now. They don't have the funding, they don't use it. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and I
They
think
can't sit there.
it's been that way, correct?
yeah. So if a family member wants to,
So they're
send
gonna
them
come back
send them money.
somebody and sue somebody for discrimination. Because that he can use it, but you can't.
No, that wouldn't be
If you
successful.
don't have the money, free
Yeah.
enterprise, you can't use it.
Yeah,
And I think the
I don't think
texting allowed like
Discrimination,
the
'cause
first
it's
two
doing the fact that
texts
they're
for
in
free to
the
contact
hundreds,
family
they're
or
in
something.
jail, they don't get-
They're in jail.
This is just kind of a bonus for them, really, so they can have their own cell phone there, but
Do-
you can't.
doing a reward system over there is beneficial because it keeps them in line. If they have a opportunity to be able to have buy some extra food or whatever like that, it's but he has a right to, if they're not following the rules, to cut off the extra benefits.
Cause he did say that one time, you know, that guy, he took the phone privileges away, boy, he shaked right up.
Yeah,
So I think he's pretty good on what, or dispatchers are too. So, you know,
it helps the dispatcher now when they can do the reward systems.
So I think the only discrimination that you're saying would be if he gave it to somebody and said they could use it without having to spend their own money. And he doesn't do that.
I'll say.
Any,
The sheriff will thank you.
Yeah.
any public comment,
Nothing.
all in favor?
I,
Motion carried and passed.
All I know is I would rather, that'd be the last place I would want to spend a night over there, and not that it's bad or anything, just, but that would be the last place I would want to be.
I don't know. I told him when he gets that padded cell done, if I could get a whole night quiet time. he
I'll
would let
just
me bring
sign
down
it, and then if he has to do something with the date on it, I left that blank.
Okay, fantastic. I'll let him know.
Well, being that, is there any other stuff we need to talk about or do since they have a few minutes, or we can adjourn?
Can we bring up something that we discussed last week? Possibly, that we had some debate over? Okay,
What I would say is, that you can, bring it up to ask for it to be on the, basically be on the agenda. But,
okay,
but it should be on,
should be on.
it should be on.
Well, what is the email is from Jody? And that was the discussion we had last week. Where it was brought up to close the dump at 1:45. So that she would be able to whatever, get her work done, and she emailed and said that there was trailer loads. Or people that had trailers loaded, because you're not gonna dump that
Okay,
in 15 minutes.
okay, but we weren't closing 15 minutes earlier, we we're just asking to get there 15 minutes earlier. We don't,
No, we
we
don't
can't,
wanna close.
we
15
can't,
minutes
no,
early.
you just said that we're talking closing. We're not talking about closing, we're just wishing people get there a little earlier so she can get out at 4 or 6.
That isn't anything what it was said. It was said that so that they can't dump after 3:45. And that she meant was for the trailers, not for the general public.
Correct. And that wasn't brought to our attention.
Right.
It was just the.
Right.
every-
Yeah, and I think because we have 2 dump sites and one is open 2 hours later and chooses to be open, that if they have a trailer load and they're at like 4:30, go down to Drummond and dump it, can they?
Exactly.
Yeah,
There'd be
Now,
no.
if
Yeah,
they
they-
have a card and that, or if they go down there, or they get charged the same as out here, yeah. If they get there and it's too late. They have to go down there.
so I would just
Wait till the next day.
encourage you guys, if you're going to make a decision on anything, just get it on the agenda next week.
Well, we're just kind of discussion anyway.
Yeah.
Now that, like we said, that email come through, and that wasn't what was said last week. I agree. Chuck's down there.
I guess I interpret that's what Paul was saying last week. He was talking about a huge quantity coming in of just not regular dump stuff that was gonna cause her to be there after 4 PM. So I guess I was interpreting what he was saying that way.
Well, I
but-
interpreted it different
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
was
okay.
comparing it to the treasurer's office. With their titles, and the reason they don't close their doors, that they're still open and you can still bring your title in. And they just won't work on it until the next day. I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't apples and oranges.
I thought he was talking about mass amount like construction material and that type of stuff, but. Maybe he talked about it.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
we ask him again next week on it, it was on, we should have, when it's solid waste, I never. When we were sitting there.
Yeah, well, I didn't see that email till after.
This-
I didn't, yeah.
You want that on the
If,
agenda? Yeah.
If someone comes in with 2 bags of garbage 5 minutes early, then they'd be done
Yeah.
done by 4. The
Yeah,
issue is you have
yeah.
her having to be there past 4 and getting.
I think that's what she's explaining, that she didn't
She
need, yeah.
Yeah,
specifically said,
trailers.
that. Where are you going? Joe. My suggestion for the sign was all trailer loads must be unloaded by 1:45. Not everyday garbage. So they She shouldn't accept it like 4:30, I guess, I don't know, tell them to go down the, dump it down in Drummond, I don't know.
Only thing I'd say on that sign is then potentially should say, you know, the trailer load, is that 3 garbage bags in a trailer or a full like 10-foot trailer?
Well, some of them, like I said, you know, them trailer loads come in, then they gotta pick them out or shove them out, they're gonna beat at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not everybody has jump.
What-
You said common sense, the guy should not be heading to the dump at 4:30.
How about, please have your your garbage unloaded by 4, I mean.
We said no on this part of it.
All right, that's fine. I'll just do it anyway. Just need to-
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you guys are discussing it? Okay, well, yeah, there's no injury to the county here. I mean, you just make revenue off that. I plan on canceling Crown. The current phone system we have after this is all up and running, so.
See, he's here right on time. He's here right on time.
Yeah, and you guys started with that.
Now with me,
Can you tell about your like reward system on using stuff? Like,
The money the county gets.
no, but like the use of like the tablet is like a reward system. and-
Yeah, yeah, they can use that privilege. It's a really good tool in the jail. Cause you know how this generation, this day and age, if they give them something like that to do, it's really quiet in the jail. And if they act up, say, hey, I'm gonna take your tablet to keep you up, that's all it takes. To stop their behavior, so it's it works really well. And there's a lot of other resources that some of these folks coming through the jail can use on those tablets too, so. They'll be able to call like their attorneys for nothing, etc. I just want it all in one system, it'd be easier. Right now with Crown, we have to order phone cards, we have to cut them out, issue them, it's a little piece of paper, you have to issue them, it's kind of a pain in the neck, so,
that's extra work, but you don't get.
Yeah.
Say,
yeah,
hell,
yeah. And we don't have to handle any money that way, they get 5 free messages a day where they can send out requests to people to put money on their books for phone and text and stuff like that, so it's a pretty good deal.
But there is a certain percentage that comes back to the county, right?
I know it's 9 cents a text message the county gets back. I don't know what it is for phone calls. I have to look. I'm not sure. So,
on the other note, Dave's gonna try to get this done here, and he's guaranteed that once he start on that, he'll build it all at home and then bring it to Paddock Cell. And he's gonna talk to the plumber and talking about maybe a different door back there, brought to our attention, ADA door.
Yeah.
So I guess.
yeah, I know once we start that project, I can't have the jail tore up for very long. Because I'm gonna have 6 in there tonight for the foreseeable future. And I can't interrupt what we have going on in the jail for very long. It's gotta be done like yesterday.
Well,
And
he
if
said
it's
he could,
not, I'm not gonna be in a very good mood about it, so.
he said he could build it all in the shop and then bring it over the 4x8 thing, but just get the plumbing, you know, that he was gonna come out by the snow. We
Okay,
told him to not start unless he can stay in finish.
yeah, I can't have it tore up that long. It looks to me, Dave will have to look at it. He already has that. He's gonna have to build a wall to separate the jail from what he has going on. That whole time.
Wow.
Cause
Yeah,
I mean, I got people that I can't. get
Well, we're
rid of.
pushing on to get this done first. You know, and
Yeah.
if it's a shitty day or something, he can go downstairs and work on that. But that's come when he starts on that, that's just a solid job,
Yeah, it's gotta be done. Like, it's when he starts,
right?
beginning to end, it's gotta be done. I don't know what it would take him, 2 weeks. I don't know.
I have no idea, I don't know how the plumbing or what. all
Well, you're gonna
that-
have to tear up concrete to run plumbing with that.
So is this something that we should let him drop drop the dome and get that done?
No.
Well, cause we got winter.
Don't get me
weather.
wrong, I definitely need that cell.
Yeah.
I've been, I guess Don B. Kennedy tried to get one of those, and so did Emmett. A lot of the sheriffs before me have tried to get that accomplished.
Well, I think
It's something we need, so.
we just didn't have the funds and stuff at the point, never have people really, we had one guy look at some of the stuff and then they fixed that front, and we never ever got nothing back, and then
Yeah.
this here, we got the funds, but this needs to get done before it snows, weeds
Yeah.
down in here, we have a hell.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to know most of the sheriffs statewide, and if I call them having somebody having mental health issues and they're violent, you name it, suicidal, and I call one of my best friends in the world and ask them to house them in their jail, they're say, I love you, Sheriff, but it's not gonna happen. We're stuck with,
Don't love you that much.
no, they don't love you that much. So, although I will say Sheriff Holden owes me. Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
gonna be another reciprocity.
So, yeah, it would be nice, but yeah, I don't want the jail tore up for very long. It's just the way it has to be, so.
Alrighty, on that note, that's pretty much everything we had today. We can entertain a motion. Boogie.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
Good job.
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second. Do you second it? He's got